Attention passionate San Francisco 49ers fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC West and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on San Francisco 49ers' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true San Francisco 49ers fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your FRINDS and San Francisco 49ers fans. Let's get to the news. Alright folks, today we've got some pretty intriguing news that's been making waves around the NFL, especially among 49ers fans. And let me tell you, this isn't just any offseason move. This could be a game changer. A real statement of intent for San Francisco as they look to solidify their roster and chase another Super Bowl appearance. The buzz is all about Michael Thomas. Yes, the same Michael Thomas who once dazzled the league with his incredible receiving skills, now potentially donning the red and gold of the 49ers. It's a move that's been generating plenty of chatter because, honestly, it could be a low-cost, high-upside addition that might just fill a critical gap in their wide receiver room. Now, for those of you who have been following NFL news closely, you know Michael Thomas's story is quite a roller coaster. Once considered one of the premier wide receivers in the league, Thomas was a force to be reckoned with from his rookie season in 2016, when he immediately burst onto the scene with over 1,000 receiving yards. Over the next few years, he became one of Drew Brees' favorite targets, racking up 4 consecutive seasons with over 1,000 yards. That's no small feat in a league that's increasingly deep at the wide receiver position. But then, as many stars do, Thomas faced a series of injuries that hampered his production. The 2020-2022 seasons were particularly tough, with injuries causing him to miss significant time, and by the time 2023 rolled around, his numbers dipped to just 448 yards and a single touchdown. That's a far cry from his previous dominant form, but it's important to remember, Michael Thomas is still a talented receiver with plenty of experience, and with a year off to recover fully, he might just be able to bounce back. Looking at the timing, the 49ers are in a bit of a tricky situation at wide receiver. Brandon Ayuk, their star receiver, has been battling injuries throughout this offseason, and right now, he's expected to miss the first 4 games of the upcoming season as he works his way back from a torn ACL and MCL. That's a significant blow when you're trying to build momentum for another title run. And on top of that, Ricky Pearsall is starting training camp on the physically unable to perform list, which means he's also not yet ready to contribute at full capacity. Joan Jennings, another key piece, is also in a bit of a limbo, either waiting on a contract extension or possibly a trade if the team decides not to keep him long-term. So, the 49ers are clearly looking for some depth and reassurance at the wide receiver position. They need reliable options to step in and contribute, especially early in the season when health and chemistry are still being established. That's where Michael Thomas could come into play. Even though he's more towards the end of his career, don't forget, he's still got that experience, that savvy, and the potential to be a dependable target, even if just temporarily. The idea is that Thomas could provide capable depth until Ayuk and Pearsall are fully healthy, and he could also be a rotational piece throughout the season. This kind of signing, especially if it's on a lower cost, proves that the 49ers are willing to adapt and be opportunistic, which is crucial in a league where injuries and roster depth often decide playoff success. Now, it's important to put this into context. The 49ers have been one of the most consistent, well-managed teams in recent years, with a strong coaching staff led by Kyle Shanahan. They've built a roster that's both talented and versatile, but injuries have always been a concern. The addition of a veteran like Thomas could be a strategic move, not just to fill a need, but also to bring a veteran presence that could help younger players develop and improve their game. Remember, this team is still led by some of the league's best talent on defense and offense, but depth at key positions like wide receiver can often determine how far they go come playoff time. And speaking of the team's recent performances, the 49ers have been knocking on the door of the Super Bowl for the past few seasons. They lost in the NFC Championship game in 2022 and made it to the NFC title again last year, narrowly missing out on that elusive Super Bowl appearance. The team's core has remained largely intact, with a focus on strong defensive play, a balanced attack, and a smart, disciplined coaching staff. But the question always remains, can they stay healthy? Can they find enough reliable targets to complement their star quarterback? That's why a move like signing Michael Thomas is so intriguing. It's not just about adding a player, it's about adding a veteran who has the potential to step in and make an immediate impact. And let's not forget, Michael Thomas returning to California and potentially playing in his home state adds a sentimental element to this story. Playing close to home, in front of familiar faces and in a familiar environment, could give him that extra motivation to perform at his best. It's a nice storyline, but more importantly, it's a strategic move for the 49ers, who are always looking for ways to strengthen their roster and keep their championship window open. Now, what does this mean for the upcoming season? Well, if Thomas is healthy and in good shape, he could serve as a reliable option in the passing game, especially in those critical third-down situations or red zone opportunities. His experience and route-running ability still make him a threat, and if he can regain even a portion of his prime form, it could translate into valuable points for San Francisco. Plus, having a veteran presence in the locker room can only benefit the team's chemistry and leadership, especially with the young receivers trying to find their footing. The 49ers are definitely not resting on their laurels. They've been aggressive in the offseason, making smart moves to stay competitive. This potential signing of Michael Thomas is just another piece of that puzzle. It might not grab as many headlines as blockbuster trades, but in the grand scheme of things, it could be a subtle yet impactful move that helps them push further into the postseason. And as we look ahead, the NFC West is shaping up to be more competitive than ever. The Seahawks, Rams, and Cardinals are all pushing hard, but the 49ers have consistently proven they're a top-tier team, and maintaining that level of excellence requires smart roster management. Depth and versatility are the keys, and adding a seasoned veteran like Thomas could be just what they need to stay ahead of the pack, especially if injuries threaten to derail their season early on. So fans, it's safe to say that the upcoming weeks will be critical. Will Michael Thomas officially sign with the 49ers? How will he fit into Kyle Shanahan's offensive scheme? Can he stay healthy and return to some semblance of his former greatness? These are the questions we'll be watching closely. But one thing is for sure, the San Francisco 49ers are making strategic moves to ensure they're ready for whatever challenges come their way, and this potential addition is just another step in their quest for another Super Bowl ring. Pause here, just for a second. If you want the YouTube algorithm to keep recommending the latest San Francisco 49ers news to you, it's super important that you leave a like on this video. Go ahead, it's quick and it makes a big difference. Thank you. Now let us continue with the big reveal. And now, San Francisco 49ers fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this potential signing? Do you think Michael Thomas can still be a difference maker? Are you excited about the possibility of seeing him in the red and gold? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the San Francisco 49ers. Remember, this team is all about the fans, the passion, and the drive to be champions. I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest San Francisco 49ers news, because the season is just around the corner and the excitement is building. Thanks for watching, and as always, go Niners!